Alright, so before we start, a couple announcements. Yes, these are the dice I got from 20 Sided Tavern. Did some test rolls with them. They're really good and very, I guess, standardized for Hasbro. So I can see the big difference with my other custom set from Dice Dungeon. So links to the description of the Dice Dungeon set. Also, for those who saw my Instagram reels out of this recording Saturday, I am definitely going to come back TV-wise next week for my overall thoughts for the finale of Cobra Kai, so my bad for the Novocaine out there. I might do a 60-second short if I have a screening and my schedule and my job is cool with it, so who knows there. So with that all being said, let's get to this long overdue review. Back in the scene. So, were they always like this back in the Netflix series? More or less. I told you, Red. I told you you snap after episode 2. Oh, by the way, go to the non-spoiler shorts for that. Frank, stand down. I'm not even kidding. We're not doing this. I got this. I can do this. I can fix this. I can make this work. Darling, you're gonna be like this all day. Anyway, look, hello, everyone. This is the one half of the Daredevils. Real North Electra, not yours. Daredevil, Queen, or in this case, Fear Queen, of the Real North Hell's Kitchen, with Richo's partner, playmate, new partnership, bad boy. What are you exactly? None of those things. Seriously. Hi, Denji here, covering for Retro because of this long standoff that's been happening for quite a while. I told you this would happen, and you're gonna keep doing it again. And don't you do this Dexter speech right now. And you know what? You're right. I got a guy that could probably speak to you, Frank. Oh, really? Who? I don't know, how about a Captain America? Wait, you're not Steve? No, I'm not. We good? Yeah, I'll see you in May, right? For, Thunderbolts, right? More or less. You okay there, Castle? Soldier? Says the guy who gets brainwashed by Hydra for a living. Yeah, says the guy who has cobs that loves his skull more than your own actual backstory. Seriously, what is up with that still? Yeah, working on that. See you next week. Red. Yeah, keep up with appearances, why don't you? So, until Virtue figures out not figure downing my husband. Ow, my knees! Seriously? Yes, that's going to be one of those days. Let's get to my overall thoughts, and Retro's as well, for Born Again. Retro, go. Yeah, so first off, it's a really good episode premiere, as always. We'll come back next week, probably on the 60-second short for the Frank Castle side of things. So until then, yeah, where do we start on the first 5 minutes of the first episode? Foggy. Yeah, the foggy of it all. So for those who wanted to know what happened to his actor, not much. I think he came back to cash in for that Mighty Ducks reunion series, I want to say. So long story short, no cards to it because I didn't do video way back in when it was new, but for him, he did a really good job for what will be potentially his last scene. Won't get into that because I think he was the inciting incident to finally get essentially Bullseye back into the game. I forgot his actor also as well. Again, it's been 7 years since the show, so I'll try to get better at it as time goes on, especially in the shorts when I do week-to-week 90-second shorts. For those who remember my X-Men 97 shorts last year, it'll probably go down the same way as well, hopefully. So with that said, cast ID down below. For Deborah and Wool, however, who came back for Karen, she did a really good job as usual. And no, your eyes don't deceive. We're already prepping retro reviews for Mission Impossible. Already future proofing the rest of the year, guys. Get ready. Lock in aside. Yeah, let's get to that fight scene. For more and less, it was basically the show roaring back as ever. If there's already clips out for that, go to it as well. I'll agree for the minor criticism that it does have a little bit of like, I guess, stationary CG to like help out with the shaky cam and try to like essentially hide the actors and highlight the stunt choreography a little bit better, which not for nothing is still a elevated budget than I think the original show got all the way back 10 years ago, if you can even believe that, from the main series itself. So with that being said, Charlie Cox came back roaring more so than ever on the legal side of things as Mad. Didn't get any time for his headshots for that, so we'll try to do that when I come back for the finale. One other thing I'm going to try my best to get back to the finale for is White Tiger's actor, Karma de Reyes. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago when he was making this show. It's a similar situation like a Moon Knight, so they definitely started episode 2 with his honor, if anything else, to give him his tribute, farewell title card. So that's obvious for that. Speaking of the title cards itself, it is very elevated, very different from the original show's title card. If you remembered, it was all like a bleeding effect, like how like leaks of like corruption was throughout. Like a lot of the symbolism that there's some people who've done video essays about just the opening alone for many years now. It's also the same thing too, but like cracks of I guess Kingpin's soon to be mayorship is kind of in that same kind of symbolism as well. Speaking of, Vincent D'Onofrio for these first 2 episodes are amazing. How he fast tracked to being a mayor isn't totally spelled out. There'll probably be a flashback episode for the campaign trail of anything else. As for Michael Gandolfini, James Gandolfini's son, I feel like he's going to do a great job being the new lackey for him, essentially. Stripped from the headlines, Dubrow, kind of like right-leaning politicians, so again, go with that as you will for that kind of terminology. I hope it's not bogged down in the dialogue with that, if anything else, like Dubrow this, Dubrow that, kind of that. As for episode 2, there wasn't really much. You did get a Muse sighting, kind of. Matt's new therapist slash potential love interest. I think it was also stripped from the comics as well. I don't know which era, so let me know in the comments. Kind of saw her, kind of, I guess, marking her for something. I don't know for what, essentially. I also don't know too much about Muse. Yes, this is one of those new characters straight from the comics. I don't know off the top of my head, which is surprising for being the guy who's, like, up to date with the comics the last 10 years, so, hey, I'm surprised here. I know he was all over the trailers. I didn't do much coverage on it, mainly because I kind of want to wait and see how this is going to play out. I'll probably do comic research in between the episodes as well, so that might be the case. He'll probably get a backstory episode, if anything, so that's understandable. And on to the last bit of news. Yeah, the cold opening, like I did earlier with the Punisher stuff, is indicative because in episode 2, the ending, spoilers for that, is me taking out corrupt cops out of suit in, like, a year of retiring in between the series going into this new season. So, yes, the primal scream you guys probably saw in my wife and Retro's non-spoilers was pretty apt, a little abrupt, I'll admit, but for Charlie himself coming back as me, it was, devilish, to put it lightly. Oh my god, you finally got around to do puns. You hated it when we were dating. Yeah, I know, but no, we're trying. Guys, focus, seriously, final thoughts. Due to my, actual disability that they are honoring more, but the enhancements might be a little nuanced again. I did like the zoom spotlight shot with the lens flare to like dial in close enough to like a comic accurate version of the radar sense, so that wasn't that bad too going into the Bullseye fight. Don't know if Bullseye's gonna get out of jail. He did get a fair trial, got life, but knowing this series, it's probably gonna have him break out for another fight, so I'll be ready for that if anything else. To probably recreate in the shorts, so no scores for me, because what is even that? It is a not fair legal system, and oh my god, yes, wave away that law degree. 5 out of 5 here for the premiere. Long story short on my end, and will I come back, other than my actress still doing the Clean Laying series? Go to any of the trailers for that. Don't know, there's always season 2, so who knows. Would love to see her recreate this, era in the comics, in case, Matthew gets fake death or some sort of prison time like he did in the Zdarsky run, hence why I was in this costume to begin with. And Retro, final thoughts as well. Yeah, 10 out of 10. It's a strong start. There's nothing really new to write home about. If you missed the action choreography, it's still there. I think it will come up more later down the road for the Muse episodes and when they have to do more legal cases for White Tiger going forward. Also, apparently, they could just say nonchalantly his mystical amulet in, like, a lawyer, I guess whatever's, like, the legal or crime show equivalent of, like, tech talk, essentially, and nobody bats an eye of it because that's how lived in the MCU is at this point, and how versatile I think it's been in between the years of the show ending in 2018 coming into now. So I don't know, it could be a product of like a bunch of other stuff. Maybe they just want to get through that kind of like origin story for I guess the case sake of the season, so who really knows till then. Ultimately it's up to you if you really want to see the show. Please, I highly recommend not sitting through my reviews because I was generalizing way more back then than I was 10 years ago, so go with that in as far as knowledge goes. But not for nothing, this is actually a strong start. I hope it continues that momentum going throughout the season. I know Nando V Movies did his Nando cut for both episodes, so as always links to that as well. And yeah, final thoughts on my end. Yeah, it's actually really a strong start. I know I'm generalizing because I'm again going to be a week behind by the time this is out. Probably Monday. So, with that being said, what did you think of Daredevil Born Again? How are you taking the show's new direction? Now it's a full blown reboot. Did you miss the show in the last 7 years in between season three to this? Were any of the guest spot cameos Matt has had over the years, especially in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man a few weeks back, was a really cool pop, or was it just like generalizing what little nostalgia that was sort of building on this? And more importantly, if you're wondering if I ever get around to doing retro reviews of both Daredevil and lecture movies, yes, I did, and they're going to be the end cards as you see right here, along with my shorts playlist to probably my non-spoilers review for that final 2 seconds from episode 2 of the new series. Sub the channel notification bell down below. And that all being said, take care, subscribe. I'm Retrokid Review saying, so you're not going to go full Chip Zdarsky on, right? Well, about that.